Hello, this is Kendall Clark over at Livid Instruments, and today I'm going to walk you through the DJ setup I used in the demo for Livid's new Alias8 controller in Ableton Live. This set uses a simple 2-deck DJ style setup. As you can see, the controller is split in half, so I'm going to go over the way I mapped the controls for the left side, and it will be the same for the right side. I have my level fader for the volume of the track. The next three faders are mapped to the EQ, low, mid, and high. The three buttons directly under these faders are the EQ kills, also low, mid, and high. The furthest button to the left under the level fader is mapped to Live's track activator switch. That will be your mute toggle. Directly under that is the play clip, and to the right, the stop clip. And the remaining two buttons are for send A and send B. To map the clip start and stop buttons, go into Live's MIDI map mode. You'll notice a new row open up that is directly above the mixer controls and at the bottom of the clips. There you will see playheads under each track, and you'll want to map that to your clip play button. For clip stop, I just used the individual tracks stop clips. In order to navigate through the clips in my set, the Alias8 has one push button rotary encoder. Now in its default state, the rotary encoder allows you to select between one of the 15 various pages of the Alias8. But if you push down on the encoder, then you will get one user mappable endless encoder which you can use to scroll your scene select up and down. And this second function is accessible from any page of the alias. So to map this, enter MIDI map mode, and in that same row where we found the clip launch playheads, on the master channel at the furthest to the right you'll see a number box. Map that number box to any rotary encoder that you have, and you'll be able to scroll through your scenes up and down. So let's get something playing for you. Just a simple drum loop. So we've got our main volume, track mute, low kill, mid kill, high kill. We can send A. Got a delay on send A. I've got a reverb on send B. You may want to adjust the individual levels of the return channels since we don't have control over the send amount. If we take a look at the rack, I've used the top 8 pots for the macro controls, and it's the same on each channel. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the construction of the rack because you'll be able to download this project from Livid's website. I have an auto pan that chops up the signal. This pot controls the amount, and this pot controls the rhythm. The next control is a bit crusher, white noise generator, Live's phaser, and of course the classic fade to gray. And finally a low pass and high pass filter made using Live's EQ8. So this is my default page, and it's where I do the majority of my mixing and clip launching. If I scroll over to page 2, you can see that I've remapped the buttons for my beat repeats for each channel. I also mapped the level fader to control the beat repeats pitch down function. So I have half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, sixteenths, dotted eighths, triplets, 24ths, and 30-second notes. And as I mentioned, this fader will pitch the beat repeats down. And this is just Live's default beat repeat effect. So that's pretty fun to jam on. I didn't use any other knobs or faders on this page, but if I scroll over to page 3, let me show you my master effects. So first I have a white noise generator on the master channel, and this first button turns it on. And this lit green button below it is mapped to the dry volume. So here's how the various buttons change the sound. Okay, so this fader is mapped to a pitch sweep effect, which I made using Live's phaser. The furthest fader to the right is the amount of the auto pan's chopping, so if you want just white noise, you can pull it down. The second fader here uses Live's frequency shifter to get a cool sort of pan type effect. Now you may have noticed in the first demo video that I got some cool pseudo scratching type sounds. So if I turn the chop amount all the way back up and bounce between these different rhythms while at the same time sweeping the pitch fader, then you can get some cool scratch type effect. So the last thing I have uses the remaining buttons. Let me open up the rack to show you. So again, using the same idea of mapping a series of chromatic buttons to a knob, or in this case, the chain select, I was able to get a stutter edit style effect. So in the rack I have all these different chains with different effects that I can cut back and forth between using these buttons. The first button is a dry empty channel, so no effect. So that's kind of fun to bounce between. Okay, I think that about covers it. This is Kendall Clark with Livid Instruments. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy your new Alias8 controller.